Chapter 10. A New Post. Andrew began to search at once for another position. But he did not receive a single answer to his letters. He became very worried. How was he to live? Then one day, when walking sadly down the street, he met Denny. Knocking out the ashes from his pipe, Philip said, "I'm sorry that you're leaving, Manson." He paused. "I heard this afternoon that the Aberalour Medical Society is advertising for a new man. Aberalour, that's 50 kilometres down the valley. Why don't you try for the post?" Andrew looked doubtful. "Well, yes," he agreed slowly. "I could try." He walked home and wrote to the society. A week later, Andrew and 7 other young doctors went to Aberalour to be examined by the Society's committee. It was a fine summer afternoon, and Andrew liked Aberalour, which was larger than Drenefi, with good streets and shops, and green fields surrounding the town. "But I won't get this post," he told himself, as he waited his turn for examination. The other men were better dressed and seemed more confident than he. But what would Christine think of him if he failed? She would return to Drenefi either today or tomorrow. He had not told her about the post. He wanted to surprise her, and to win her respect by greeting her with the good news that he had been given the post. Andrew, the third man to be examined, entered the committee room with a feeling of fear and determination. About 30 miners were in the room. At a small table sat a pale man with a kind face. He was Owen, the secretary. Owen, in a quiet voice, explained the medical system at Aberalour. "The miners pay part of their wages each week to the society, and out of this money the society provides the medical services, including a hospital. The society employs a head doctor, Dr. Llewellyn, 4 other doctors to help him, and a dentist. Each doctor receives a payment for every patient on his list." Owen turned to the committee. "And now, gentlemen, do you wish to ask Dr. Manson any questions?" Several voices began to shout questions at Andrew. He answered them calmly and returned to the waiting room. The next man then went in. The last man came from his examination with a smile of satisfaction on his face. "I'm the winner," his expression seemed to say. There was another long wait. At last the door of the committee room opened and Owen came out. He called out, "Will you come in for a minute, Dr. Manson? The committee would like to see you again." His heart beating fast, Andrew followed the secretary back into the committee room, where he was welcomed by smiling faces. Owen now addressed him. "Dr. Manson, we will be honest with you. The committee, on Dr. Llewellyn's advice, had intended to hire a doctor with experience in this valley, but the committee now feels that you may be a better choice." Andrew was too excited to smile. "I should add, Dr. Manson," Woodland continued, "that the committee has been influenced by 2 letters received from doctors in your own town. One is from a Dr. Denny, who has a very good degree, and the other, enclosed with Denny's, is signed by Dr. Page, by whom you are employed. These 2 doctors praise your work so highly that the committee would like to offer you the post." Andrew lowered his eyes, his thoughts on Denny's generous act. "There is just one difficulty, Dr. Manson," Owen added. "This post should really be given to a married man. The miners like their families to be attended by married doctors. Also, a house is provided." There was a long silence. They were all looking at him. At last, calmly, "That is all right, gentlemen. I am going to marry a girl in Dreneffi." There were loud cheers. "Then, Dr. Manson, you are appointed," said Owen. "When can you start your duties?" "I can start work next week," Andrew answered. Then he turned cold as he thought, suppose that Christine won't marry me. A few minutes later, Andrew left and excitedly ran to the railway station to catch the next train home to Dreneffi. When he reached Dreneffi, he went straight to Christine's house to see if she had returned from her holiday. Finding to his joy that the light was on in her room, he rushed into the house. "Christine!" She looked at him in surprise. "Andrew, how nice of you to come round." "Chris, I have something to tell you." A worried expression spread across her face. "What has happened? Have you had more trouble with Miss Page? Are you going away?" He shook his head. "Christine, I've got a new post, an excellent post, at Aberalour. £500 a year and a house. A house, Christine. Oh, my dearest. Christine, will you marry me?" She went very pale. Her eyes were bright. She said quietly, "And I thought that you were going to tell me some bad news." "No, no, the best news, my dear," he cried. "Oh, Chris, I love you so much, but perhaps you don't love me." She went towards him and laid her head against his chest. As he put his arm round her, she said, "Oh, Andrew dear, I've loved you ever since I saw you walk into my school."